Herobrine was furious at the destruction of his army. That fool of a zombie king, Volok, had had the advantage in that battle in the mountain pass, and yet he had still lost to a simple blacksmith. Now the evil virus's two remaining monster kings stood at his side. Shaikalud, the Spider Queen, was enraged. Her purple eyes blazed with fury as she stalked back and forth, barely able to contain her anger. She'd seen many of her spiders destroyed in the battle, all for nothing. None of them had expected the NPCs to fight as hard as they did. And when the villagers had been surrounded, the monsters had all thought the villagers would just surrender and beg for mercy. But instead, the NPCs fought harder. It made no sense. Oxus, the Creeper King, was angry as well, but for different reasons. He knew Herobrine had wasted 30 of his creepers in an experiment, throwing his green monsters at the villagers while the creatures of smoke and flame, the blazes, ignited them with their fireballs. It hadn't been necessary. Creepers were peace-loving creatures that only detonated to save the lives of their kin, but now Oxus was sure word would spread of the attack, and villagers would attack the creepers on sight. While the remaining Monster King and Queen were unhappy, that was nothing compared to the anger that Herobrine felt.
"That foolish zombie king Volok," Herobrine growled. "He had the villagers bottled up in that narrow pass, and he let them escape."
His dark eyes began to glow bright with rage as he looked across the desert at the NPC army slowly heading south, away from the site of the Zombie King's destruction.
"We will forever call the pit where the battle was lost the Pit of Despair."
"Why?"
the Spider Queen asked.
"Because despair was likely the last thing that idiotic Zombie King experienced," Herobrine grumbled.
A robotic wheezing sound floated across the landscape. It sounded like some kind of mechanical demon gasping for breath. A handful of blazes floated over the desert sand, their internal flames flickering with instability. They were creatures Herobrine had brought to the Overworld from the Nether, in hopes they could help with the creepers, and they had. But now there were only a dozen or so remaining, and all were near death.